Okay, so would you believe this is school holidays and we're at school? I'm here with
fellow person with no life.
Yeah, that's right. I'm here with Bernie Osullivan, a fellow flipper, who also is a fellow Lightboard user as well.
Lightboard convert.
Yeah, excellent. So Bernie, you came and visited my school late last year, and you saw this Lightboard.
Yeah, got to use this very board with you.
And you actually borrowed my little board, didn't you?
Yes.
You took that away to your school.
Yeah, I used that all through term one. Got about 50 or 60 videos out of that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, so that smaller board is 900 by 600, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's kind of maybe that.
Yes.
So was that limited in any way?
No, I thought it was going to be limiting, but I was surprised after I recorded my first few videos and I went back and watched them. I was surprised because it still fills the whole screen of the device that you're on.
Yeah,
and so
that's true.
you write according to the size that you have available to you, and you move yourself around. I found I was able to fit quite a lot of information on the board, and it didn't look crammed.
Right.
And of course, as you move on, you just rub it out, move on, and then of course you just take the rubbing out part out of your video in the post-processing.
Yeah, so one of the risks with a big board is because you've got more space, you teach more content.
Yes.
And your video goes too long. So what would you say is a top tip? What sort of length of video would you be aiming for?
I would say top tip number one is have yourself a plan. If you're going without a plan, you're going to waffle for a long period of time.
Absolutely.
And I'm reckoning you should be aiming for, with my senior classes, I aim for that 5 to 7 minute mark.
Okay, so that's your senior classes. Do you teach junior classes?
Yeah, I've got a grade 9, I've got grade 10.
All right.
And I find I often go with them, it's usually about that 4 to 6 minute mark.
Yeah, okay. Because I've often heard 1 minute for every year level, but I actually think that, my year 12s, they don't tolerate 12-minute videos.
No. And there are some concepts that do take me 10 or 12 minutes to get across. Well, then that's when I do, part A, part B. And they might still end up watching part A, part B, part C that night, but they're watching in 3 separate sittings. And there's that chunking element that comes to their learning.
And they have a bit of a break.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's really interesting. I'm really pleased that you weren't restricted by that small board. So you made maybe 50 or so videos on that small board. Now you've got a big board.
Yes.
Are you going to go back and redo the videos you did on the small board?
No, I don't think there's any going there. I can look at the quality of what I've done has improved, but I don't think there's anything worth re-recording, because how I am on the video is how I am in the classroom. Yeah. And that's what the kids are used to seeing. I don't think there's any gain by taking that extra time to make it look just that fraction bit better. So
it's the point of diminishing returns, isn't it? That 80-20 rule.
Yeah,
you can spend a whole heap more time with only getting a small amount of improvement. And that's what I found when I did a lot of green screen videos.
Yes.
1 hour in post-production for every 1 minute of video. And who's got that much time?
That's not good use of your time.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, your wife will be leaving you pretty quickly.
How long does it normally, how many videos would you do in a session?
I try to say record. If I'm at school during a spare, I might try and aim for like 3 or 4 during a spare lesson. Or if I hang around after school, maybe aim for about half a dozen.
Right,
If I'm going on a weekend, I'll just, depending on what's happening at home. If it's a nightmare at home, I'm going to stay at work as long as I possibly can.
Because it's hard to do more than 5 or 6 videos without getting fatigued.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then you've got the post-processing and all the rendering. That's right. It really takes a long time.
So let's put that as a tip as well. Maybe 4 to 5 videos in a session, and then you're pretty well done, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
And then, of course, there is that time for the post-production. Do you do that at home, or do you do that at school?
No, my home life's a nightmare. We've got 6 kids, from 19 down to 2. So if you're up at midnight and you want to talk to someone, give me a call. I'll be up. So, no, I do it at school. So I cut my post-processing down to bare minimum. I can get my post-processing down to inside 5 minutes now. Really, just chop a bit off at the start, chop a bit off at the end. If there's anything in the middle where I've made a mistake or I'm writing a lot, I'll speed that up. Or if I'm rubbing something out, I'll cut that out. It takes me 5 to 10 minutes max to post-process. Then I hit render and I walk off to class.
Right, and so, yeah, okay, and then it renders while you're in class.
Yes.
Yeah. What program are you using for your post?
Camtasia.
Yeah, okay, I love that. Camtasia's awesome.
You put me on that.
Is it Camtasia 9 you're using?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, and it's so easy to use, isn't it?
Yeah, very intuitive. That's what I like about it. You know? There's things that I thought, gee, I'd like to do this, and it didn't take much of poking around to find it. I didn't even need to go to a tutorial or online help thing. It was very easy to find.
And yeah, I like that idea of speeding up, or even just chunking, just removing that time when you're doing a lot of writing. It just compresses the video somewhat. Yeah,
it looks quite cool. You start writing here, then there's a bit of a fade, and then all the dialogue appears on the screen.
But all of that is post-production that takes time.
Yes.
So
not a lot of time, I found.
Yeah, well, that's true, and you get more efficient at it as well, don't you? Do you re-watch your whole video before it goes live?
No, I don't. What I've delivered in the Lightboard is what I would deliver in class. I don't really want my Lightboard lessons to be vastly different from the live experience of me in the room. So if I stumble over my words or I say something wrong, if I know that I've made a mistake in the recording, I'll have a little mental note in the post-processing. I'll put a little call out to explain my mistake or something that I'll add and say, I've made an error here. Can you figure out why I made this error? And that becomes a topic of conversation.
It was deliberate. I deliberately made this error.
Yeah, can you figure out why I did this?
Sometimes when I have a large pause, I can look for it on in Camtasia and probably most of those post-production programs. You can see an audio trace.
Yes.
So most of the audio is like this, but when you're not talking, it's pretty well a flat line.
Yes.
And so without me watching the whole video, I can see very, very easily in post-production the part that I either want to speed up or cut out.
Yeah, I do exactly the same thing. You look for those good cues, because just watching your own video, one, it's incessantly boring for me because I'm hearing myself a second time and I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I just want to get the job over and done with quickly.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess it's that 80-20 rule as well. There's no value in making it absolutely perfect. It's about be yourself.
Yeah.
And that's probably a good place to finish. Just one last thing though, in terms of being yourself, and obviously you're a dad. You said 6 kids, so you must have a whole heap of dad jokes.
Oh, I've got lots of dad jokes. So I've started putting dad jokes at the end of every video. It's their reward. Or punishment for
to stick around to the end.
That's right, yeah.
Because look, we know, we both put videos on YouTube, we know, looking at the analytics, that most people don't stick around to the end. And I know when I'm watching cat videos or whatever, I don't usually stick around to the end of the video. You watch a bit of it and that's it. So that's the carrot for your students. Hang around for the dad joke.
Yeah, you gotcha.
Is that the way you check that they have? And like, how do you make sure that your kids have watched the videos?
Well, when we come into class, the very first thing that we've got a little, I have to spend 5 or 10 minutes of just basics of, mathematical basics, just arithmetic type stuff.
Yeah.
And while they're doing that, they get their books out and they show me the notes. I've trained them up to do Cornell notes. So while they're doing their mental arithmetic for that first 5 or 10 minutes, I walk around, they've got the notes out and they can see video number 24 on this particular date, and they've got all the notes laid out. So it's a quick scan around the room, and in 5 minutes, while they're working and busy, I've already worked out who has and who hasn't.
Right. And what do you do for the students who haven't watched the video?
And I say, okay, guys, we've got this great activity happening today. You can come and join it after you've gone to that corner over there. Get your device out. You know where to find it.
Right.
Once you can show me the notes, come back and join us, and I'll show you what we're up to.
So generally, students would watch them for homework.
Yes.
But they would watch it in class if they haven't already done it, or maybe if they're away.
Yes. If they're away, they know if they're away, they're still supposed to watch. They've got a plan. They know exactly where we're up to, lesson by lesson. Being away is not an excuse.
No, absolutely. And so if students aren't getting a concept, I mean, the fabulous thing we've discussing before about differentiation, because you're not up the front of the classroom teaching all the time.
Yeah.
You can spend time, you can sit down with a student for 5 minutes. As well as that, do the students also re-watch the video in class if they don't get it?
They do, actually. I've been, it's caught me off guard a few times. I've been walking around and there it is, the people with the headphones. I know they've watched the video, they've got the headphones out and they're just going back over something. They've got a problem there, going back over the notes. There might be 2 of them sharing the headphones, and they'll pause and then they'll start a discussion on what they've just heard and then get back to their work. So it's been great. Individual groups have spontaneously erupted in class, and that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to add one here. Look, I have students that share headphones as well, but it's not ideal for me. I want it to be an individual learning space. So that means that the students are individual by themselves. But, and so they're not sitting there with one earphone in while they're kind of listening to another conversation, because that's not an individual learning space. So ideally I'd have students working by themselves. But the other thing that's wonderful about the flipped classroom is that a table group seems to be moving at the same speed.
Yeah,
which
correct.
I don't really know why, but and it's not something I encourage, but I absolutely love. And some of the feedback I got from students last year was that we all work together in this class to make sure everyone gets the concept. And if they don't get the concept, we all work really hard to make sure they get it.
Yeah, one person I found in that situation, there always been one person. More often than not, it's the same person, but the role does vary over time. One person who will have got the concept, they will then take the lead of the tutorial session that's running there, and they'll pull the others through with them. And bit by bit, the others will grab the concept, get on board, and then they'll start pulling the next person along with them as well.
Wow.
That's been great.
Oh, that's so powerful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You must just love just sitting back and watching that and kind of pinch yourself and think, is this really my classroom? Wonderful. That's some great thoughts there. I'm going to